Peace, y'all. I'm dropping in for a second because I need y'all to have attention on the cause of a matter real quick. But hold on. Okay, so the reason why I'm telling y'all to hold on is because I need to make sure I know my I wrote a specific prayer for us for this video because it's gonna come through with some heat, okay? All right, so this is a sealed space, and by the authority of the Divine Mother, by the blood of the sacred womb, I call all interference to scatter, no mimic, no parasite, no distortion may enter this transmission. So all who hear this, you are now witnessing a flame-encoded scroll. May the truth cut where it must. May the memory rise where it was buried. And may the mothers guide every eye that sees this to the rightful reckoning. All right. Now, disclaimer. I came in here to talk, but this is a judgment that I'm speaking of. So when I speak this, if you are an elder and you have not gained consciousness enough to rise above your three lower chakras, this might not be the message for you. And this is not because I'm finna say anything that can't be said on here, because I don't do that. I operate in truth and love. But I also operate in judgment. And let me tell you, how I talk is a lot for a lot of y'all ears, okay? And it's because it is above your frequency. It ain't no sweat, no disrespect. It's just not for you, okay? So it has been brought to my attention. The mother has been walking with me, speaking to me, and giving me revelations. Right now, we are in a great time because we got all of this energy and this frequency here, okay? This frequency is particularly here to elevate those who have the soul pattern to hear the call to remembrance. Okay? Now, this path that we walking down here is not going to be a path of complete perfection because that is just an illusion. Now, you come from a place where matter exists in many different aspects. You come from a place where there is no matter, okay? So this is me telling you about the three kingdoms because right now this planet is being transformed into a spiritual, physical reality. Now, some of the hierarchies are going to leave completely and go into celestial rest or whatever it is that they have planned for their mission. But those of y'all who call themselves spiritual people, that's the in between, okay? That is where you train your chakras to open and receive higher intellect from the source. This is where the multiverse becomes open and available to you if you can raise your frequency high enough to elevate. Now, hold on. I've been getting talked about on YouTube in a mannerism of mockery. But the thing is I already told you back in my video, Say Her Name, that the gamma radiation is intelligent. So when you talk about these three-eye atlas and this spaceship that's here, hold on, y'all, because I don't want to be too loud and set off my little thing here. 1 second. Okay. And so now when you talk about these spaceships, three-eye atlas, and all this shit that's here, this is intelligence. And bear with me, y'all. Okay, so yeah, this is all about frequency. And so yes, it will manifest physically because you are bridging the gap. I told y'all about this in my videos, multiple of them. If you watch the sequence of my videos on my channel from the first all the way up until the one you're watching right now, they all have a storyline that matches up with the Divine Mother stories. And it goes in the essence. Because your third dimensional mind state or your programming, what you do in your everyday life, go to work, come home, read a little bit here and there, you are not in a constant state of consciousness. So you are being challenged to evolve beyond that. Being that Three Eye Atlas is now here, this is the mothership, one of them, that brings with her the frequencies of evolution. So this is your kick of boost. Okay, some scientists call it quantum leap. If you black and you grew up in a religious dogma, you call it the return of Jesus Christ, which is Isis. Okay, and it is a duality, but Isis is referring to the feminine aspect within you, boy and girl, male and female. Okay, so with all that being said, you are not able to see outside yourself. This is why within those third lower chakras, root chakra being survival, the second chakra, the sacral chakra, being sexual or sensual, right? These all have to do with your five senses, okay? And then the third chakra being your gut, how you ingest what you physically intake as food, your confidence, your flame, and all of those things, right? So you only operating on those until you get that gift of light to boost you up, unless you are already born with the DNA. Okay. Hi, mommy. You okay? You talk? Hold on. And so even those born with the DNA still have to be placed in remembrance. We all have amnesia because when we were conquered, the spell that was put on the mother's children, okay, had to do with much more than your physical slavery that they quote unquote tell you about, okay? This is a story of the real Hebrews, which the mother told me means her web, okay? Let's go there. Mom. I'm about to share my screen for you guys. So that way we could see. Uh, we finna see her web, okay? So when we talk Hebrew on a physical level, we know that your physical vessel needs to have certain, what's the word I'm looking for? It needs to contain a certain type of material in order to survive the radiation. Remember, we are children of the sun, so the sun and us go hand in hand. Radiation is what is hitting your planet right now in a form of plasmic waves, protons, neurons, geomagnetic filaments, CMEs, solar flares, all of these things that are intelligent. You were made as an intelligent being, but because you went against your mother's webs, you forgot who she was. You have to work that out through returning to remembrance. And this is frequency based. So if you continue to operate on the lower vibrations, baby, your ass, the mother ship can't save you. So your ass is gonna get left. And that's a fact. Let me show you. And so when you put the word in context of Hebrews, it is her webs. So this is her, the matrix, my tricks, mother's tricks. You can call it what you want to, but there has never been in the time frame of civilization a son who was more powerful than his mama. You can't find one. You're not going to because she is the divine source. And what y'all fail to realize with all of this different energy that y'all working with of different levels of lower flame hating and all of that shit, you are keeping your own self stagnant from your ascension because mama gave birth to both duality. meaning she is the left and the right. She's source, so she's all. But your limited ability to vibrate at a higher pace is keeping you from understanding that. This is why the gamma radiation, which is hitting your planet, is a reflector of the hologram, and it is a reflection based on frequency. If you can step outside of your own body, your own physical reality, and look at everything that happens in your life through the outside lens, that is how you will elevate, because that is how you open up the multiverse. Okay, but the limited thought process, which will keep you operating on fear, hate, judgment, not righteous judgment, because righteous judgment is a whole different thing. But I want to show you, when I talk about her web, the Hebrews, flip it backwards, her web, okay? Um, I want to show you why I speak about the grids and the multiverse. This is very important because right now the gamma radiation is so far beyond where we were 3 years ago that if you're not in the know, it is telling me exactly who the hell you are, because everybody who is somebody, we all outside and we all know who's outside. There you have it. Now, this, hold on. Screen sharing, make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Boom, there we go. Okay, this is Earth's grid, her web. Get it? Remember, you being a Hebrew, what you need, son? Let me put it on me real quick. All right, my bad, you guys. My son came in here. So this is the Earth's grid, okay? Now, this grid is attached to a galactic grid, and it is also even attached to a universal grid. The universal grid is attached to the multiverse. This is where we get the story of Immaculate Conception, or source, okay? And because she is key in the story, we need to follow her footprints very closely, which is the one thing that this programming, from the Hebrews to the churches to the religions, all of these dogmas that propagate separation and division when it should be unity, this is how you get shorted out of this understanding, because they take the mother away from you, so your intelligence is not there. Remember, my people shall perish for lack of knowledge. And when you operate on them lower frequencies, you are not using intellect, period. That's why the gamma radiation is showing through the grid of those who got the eye to see that you ain't intelligent, you not in the know. Now, this is the Earth's grid. I just wanted to show y'all this so we could be on the same page. Now, I showed this to you in my video called Grids and the Multiverse. Okay. So these women, these mothers, Sekhmet, Ezeli Denthor, Black Madonna, Shakti, Shiva, Judah, all these women came from an immaculate force. This is why the Father, when you hear Jesus talk in the Bible about being the Son, he's the Son, but he is also the Father. Okay. So there is no source more powerful than her. And this is not saying that the Father doesn't have powers. His powers just emanate from the source. There's only one source. If you want to choose to call it whatever you want to call it, there's only one. They become one eventually, but there are two different polar dynamics. Okay. You want some water? Okay, 1 second. Hold on, y'all. My bad. Bear with me. Now, not sure where I left off at, but let's go ahead and get to this screen share here. Now, this is from the brother Adair Base. Oh, the young lady who usually comments on Adair Base videos. Now, I had to jump to this because I was talking about this and it didn't record. Now, so I've only spoken to Adair Bay on this in this room once. okay, where there was actual dialogue back and forth from him to me one time, and it's still under his pictures and his, I mean, still under his video and his comments. We don't talk outside of that. Only time we talk is when all of the mother's representatives are online spiritually. Now we all have spoken in the spirit realm. The ones on the left side, ones on the right side, we have crossed paths. We know who each other are. Now, I comment on his video recently, maybe twice, two recent videos or something like that. I don't remember. But it wasn't much that I said, but thank you for doing the mother's work. And another one was something else, something very simple and small and subtle. And he might have just liked the comment. No biggie, right? So this lady is a woman who's normally in his comments, who comes and, she's in the comments, who drops articles and different things to back up whatever he is speaking about in his videos. So a lot of times when I do go over there, I do see her comments and I'll see something she says that co-signs the message, or, whatever, what have you. And I'm like, okay. So I happened to notice that recently she wasn't in there. Mother was telling me, like, okay, this is for a reason. So no more water, daughter. I end up going to the page of the lady who they said she had was on, because they're like, oh, a dear Ray comes in the comments, he like, where's my dear sister Rosie? And somebody tells him, oh, Rosie is over here. So this lady's page, Queen Judah Israelite, or whatever her name is, this is the page that was brought to me. Okay. Now this is so much. I don't want that, daughter. This is a lot to read. So if you choose to do that, do that. All I want to say is, let's reference the word where she spoke about plagiarism. Let me see. I'm gonna find it right here. So she said, I have experienced spiritual plagiarism on the highest level. Please look up spiritual plagiarism. This is what I have endured in order to get the receipts for all of you. I'm the one of divine warriors put on the front line for all of you, blah, 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 blah. Now, here's the thing. When you speak in forms of saying spiritual plagiarism, that's a red flag that a spirit has entered into the chat. Why? Because usually you are on his page, not really saying too much, whatever, putting the articles, helping the facts come out of truth about the mother, or whatever, lies mixed in with it, however you want to do it. So at one point, that was where you were. And I know personally that that is a place where the mother has sent her messages to, okay? You just got to discern the spirit. This 3D stuff will have you looking at somebody's features, how they dressing, what they saying, what they doing, instead of hearing what is coming from their mouth and watching what is radiating from their soul. So you was over there at one point and now you're not, and the reason why has something to do with me. Now, remind you, a lot be going on YouTube that I am hella not aware of, unless the mother puts it right in front of me and she tells me, take a deeper look at this. I'm not always in the mix because this is not my, the part of YouTube that requires for you to be this heavily involved is not what I am here for. Those that need to be involved with me know how to reach me, whether it be telepathically or whether it be directly, period. So I don't really be in the mix too much. I just come across things if the mother guides me that way. So when she tells him this, mind you, I could have just been minding my business, but for some reason, this is the mother showing me all the routes of to where to look. So she's telling them she's been spiritually intercepted. I'm paraphrasing, whatever, whatever. This is a whole lot to read, but a lot of it is very contradicting. So here's what she said about me. You see. So it says, I confronted him about this whore whose channel is not, hold on, whose channel is called Ramona Mona Ray. I went to her YouTube channel because she slipped a tiny picture with a small star by it. Very key indicator to who I am. Because listen, baby, if you're not paying attention to the reflection, you're missing the message. After you came to this man about this, guess what he made a video about? That exact star. Who is he working for? Let's be clear. Listen, no, you don't need to take that off. You keep your shirt on. Listen, let me tell y'all something. This is very pivotal bloodline lineage shit. When I showed y'all that graph on the beginning of the Earth's grid, that very grid is in sync and in tune with the same. You see how you have veins running through your physical body? Those lines are mimicking the same lines to the Earth's grid. So the bloodlines and the meridian lines, Earth's grid lines, are all coming online at the same time. You know the Earth is coming online because you're watching it with these motherships that were said to come forth in the keys of Enoch at the time that the dove was said to return. So we all coming online, and we all coming online in the spirit realm, and it's showing in reflection from the hologram. Okay. So when she told him something about, mind you, I'm minding my business. I didn't even know she had a problem with me because I don't talk to I do talk to some of y'all that be on my channel that are, I feel like, have been cool and been genuine. But honestly, I don't talk to nobody on YouTube like that for real. Just a very few of them. And their lineage related. Okay. So this what she said about me. So she said she slipped a tiny little picture with a star on it. She did not leave a comment thinking she was slick. First of all, if you know me, you know I don't give two fucks, because when I did have the time and I was put on the mission to talk to y'all in that way in correction, I didn't give two fucks. I said what I said with names on camera in my space. It never was a problem. And if I ever had to go to anybody else's channel, none of my comments ever been deleted by me. For what? Okay? Because what you gonna do? When I was put here to do what I was called to do, I'm gonna do it no matter what, because the empire must return. Now, says she thinking she's slick. What the fuck? Why would I be posting anyways, let's not even go there. I went to her channel, saw videos of her twerking and dancing like a hooker, and a photo with her with a gun holding it up. Now, let's pause for a second. I want to take you to contradiction. Okay. Okay. So this comment, I'm gonna break this all down for y'all because you need to see behind the veil. The truth is now amongst you. The frequency is too high for the lie to exist, and that is why it has to come forth correctly. No. Mm. No. Mom, we're trying to get some Popeyes to the zip code. Your grandma said zip code. Why are you getting Popeyes? Just sit there. 95624. Yeah. It didn't work. That's it. That's the zip code. And you could try. Stop. You locking on my damn phone. I can try what? You can try 95758. But I'm almost 100% sure it's that one, because that's where it came. No. You cannot have my phone, daughter. No. All right. So let me get this comment. Let me get this comment. Hey, you better chill your ass the fuck out. You hear me? Chill out. You not getting my phone. You want my phone? Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. No. I hope you're ready. All right, so let me pull this up. Let me show you the contradiction. Ooh. Holy shit. Mighty funny that the video thing don't want to work right now. That's hella funny because I had so much trouble trying to get this thing to pop up. Anyways, okay, here we go. Come forth correctly. Mm. All right, let me show you the contradiction in live and direct. Now, this is Rosie in a Dear Base comments again saying, "Greetings, my divine brother. I can't tell you how much I miss you. Just one day, I feel you. I'm no stalker. I'm just a divine clocker. I truly miss you a lot, and I know we are in a glove. Uh, I know we are a hand in a glove. No other can connect me like you do. I love you and divinely miss your Tantra love. Until next time, please stay encouraged." First of all, Tantra is supposed to manifest in a physical act of sex. Okay. Let me just say that. It's an act of sacred sensuality, but it's supposed to end in sex. So you already felt the test of looking for an idol. The great mother's throne, she is throned. I keep saying this online, but y'all don't understand. The heart space is the space of the child or the innocence because it is where you are most pure, your heart, your soul. Okay. And a child believes beyond the human physical senses. Do you hear what I just said? The human's physical senses are the three lower chakras. The child believes that he is Superman or she is Tiana, the goddess, the princess, way more than the ones who have experienced physical manifestation. So at the end of the day, me believing in what I believe in and knowing who I am has everything to do with how it all plays out on the grid. So when you up in here talking about tantra sex and looking for an idol, the great mother doesn't need to look for her son to be the mediator. Do y'all not know that I am a midwife in this physical reality and a doula? Why would I be a midwife? Because I am a high priestess, the one who brings forth or helps cycles of life and birth and death. My job is coded just like my name. Are you reading the grid of the matrix? Where are you at? Because right after you said something to him about the sparkle comment I left, he made another video, and then in that video he showed the mother sparkle and he broke down esoterically what it meant. So you went to him behind closed doors. Let's go back to the comment. She said I went to oh no, I confronted him through his Google box about this whore who left a comment. In the next video, he put that very emblem, literally the exact emoji, and decoded it for the mother and how it played a role in this time. So you are not reading the grid. Now let me continue. Then she said something about it was a picture of me with the gun holding up with my right hand and my left leg and my left. Wait, hold on. Remember, all her stuff is confused, but she talking about my picture of me on my post on my feed where I have on orange or yeah, I have on red and orange, and I have my daughter in my hand, and I was breastfeeding. Now, let me tell you something. I was literally in the middle of breastfeeding my daughter when the pictures was being taken, and I decided that that was a very powerful picture to show that the mother is wisdom, she nurtures, and she protects, which my name is Wise Protector. Ramona means wise protector. And I let it be that. Now, you calling me out about twerking, these are sacred circular motions. But I want to show y'all something else because you can't be serious. You couldn't be more serious when it comes to the hypocrite. This is mocking the mother. Let me tell you very clearly, and it is very dangerous to do. You know why? Because family, my loved ones that love the mother and that love me for real, that are here on this channel because you love me, okay? You are in the middle of a very powerful galactic war that is taking place in the ether and is being shown to you below. Hear me when I say this. Now, this is the person's page. Now, she commented this long ass comment on this lady's page. Her name is uh Queen Judah Israel. Now, this lady took it upon herself to make another video after the comment and talk about me with Rosie. Now, I'm assuming these women are in their late 50s, early 60s or something. But now, if you don't know, she's dancing to a song by Little Wait called no, by King George, called Little Wait. King George, funny code. Y'all need to go crack them scrolls real quick for me. But the song is called Little Wait, and in the song he talking about liking how a woman backed that ass up. Let's be clear. And what is she doing? Her back is to the camera. Okay, so this lady took it upon herself to help Rosie talk about me and call me a whore. First things first, let me show you something else. That was hypocritical when you on here talking about Tantra with this man on his public platform. Save the hypocrisy, because I am who I say I am in every realm. I didn't told you the story that my life reflected, being in sex work, being in gangs, and being a fighter and fighting and going through these things. All of this is Dinah's story. All of this is Sekhmat's story. This is what took place in my life. A lot of it I didn't even know until I kept searching for myself, and I found these stories to line up with me. But that's a part of the awakening. Now, let me show y'all something else, because she said something about me feeding my daughter. Oops, what's going on here? She said something about me feeding my daughter with the gun in my hand. Let me show y'all something. Warrior, because if I wasn't, if you follow me on Instagram and other platforms, you have seen me post the receipts of young women shouting me out on my birthday and different things like that. And they telling stories of me and their relationship. And all of them are saying when people was messing with me at school, they already knew I was going to get Ramona, because a lot of the fights I had was never mine. It was me defending other women. All right, so here's Esley Dunthor. What is she doing? She have a baby in her hand with a sword. Baby in her hand with a sword. Now, we know Esley is another derivative of the Black Madonna or Isis, just a different civilization, different timeline. We know her job was revolutionary. She was the real story about the underground railroad they try to tell you was Harriet. It was her. And mind you, I am from a part of Sacramento, California called Deepest Part of Hell, aka the Underworld. That is where I come from in regards to gang banging. That was my set. I made my own small group by myself and bridged off, and what I named it was MAGIG. At the time, I thought that's what it meant, but it was really me being back initiated into magic with the women that I was in the gang with, thinking we just out here being bad, having fun, being wild and stuff, but really this is me playing my role in the grid. Okay, so Esley is the original story of the leadership of the revolution. Remember, when we talk about IAT, I already told you the word means woman, okay? The waters over there are connected to the ancestral remembrance. Your pineal, the chakras over there, okay? The waters, the Holy Land. And she was very pivotal in the revolution. She was the one who they mocked, the mimics. They tried to do their best in Woman King. She was the leader. She was the head. It was Queen Esley, the one who came to defend women and children. She's called the Loa. Now remember the volcano that went off, Mauna Loa. Okay, we're gonna keep up with the story because this is a story that is continual throughout time. Let's go over here to Isis. Now, when you talking about me, and my twerking, the only reason you can't get mad at that older lady that was on there doing all of that is because, first and foremost, with all due respect, she was very stiff. That tells me there is blockage in her chakras causing her emotion to be stiff. You can call it old age, but remember, the goal of the heart is to be forever young. I want to live forever young. That is the goal, to be forever young. So your heart is supposed to rule. That's your eternity. That is your gateway to the eternal realms. It's your heart space. So when you talk about her not being able to move like that, it's because there's some stagnation in her world. These is the same women probably have gang banging ass grandsons that they can't fucking control. But you worry about me being young and having flame because you admire it. As an elder, your job is to sit back and admire what you remember being when you were free. But you went into them patriarchal churches that whipped your ass into submission. So you don't know nothing about the flame that you see me carry, which is of a higher fucking octave. If it wasn't, then you would not be looking for Dinah. Let's keep it real. Ain't nobody of an elder type being preferred around here. So if the story that happened to Dinah was her being raped or manipulated, they usually go after the divine feminine with the fucking flame to do it. These are the same type of women who say that little girl need her butt whooped for being fast. She probably really slept with him when there's accusations of misconduct between an adult man and a younger girl. These the same type of fucking spirits. Rosie and Queen Israelite. Same spirits, trust me. Probably multiple baby mamas too. While you talking about me, let's be clear. Your ass probably has multiple baby daddies too. Why you want to point somebody being a whore? Did you really think that when they talked to you about the story of Dinah, that they was talking about some elder woman who was sitting somewhere on the throne, barely able to move? Why would they need to even go after a flame that wasn't lit and it was just sitting in wisdom? Remember, your flame is what's your driving force. It's supposed to drive you to your higher intelligence or your heart space because your kundalini flame. Let's go ahead and look at this picture real quick of Isis and Horus real quick. Since she said something about me being online with my daughter in my lap and my breast was not covered. First of all, sis, this is how you know you were not of the Eternals, because let's be clear, baby, you don't never, hardly ever. Look at this woman. She ain't got no shirt on. And in a lot, in the real ones, they actually have her nipple. You can find it if you want to search and dig, but they're actually, the other breast is fully exposed. Here we go. Her nipple. That's her nipple. You just seen Isis sitting with Horus in her lap, and her nipple fully exposed. Let's look at it. You know why? Anytime you look up a picture of these ancient women, they were not clothed. And if they were, it would be just the top half. Because you talking about an energy that does not age. This is eternal. So of course you was expecting the mother to come out here and be some hen sitting with her legs crossed in the pulpit, not saying nothing, and waiting on the brothers to be the emissary, not knowing you the only reason life gets put in this planet. You the mediator, sis. You just ain't turned your flame on. Now, the reason why women were able to dress like this, and even children, okay, there was a period of time where because frequencies that are of pedophilia and different things of that nature, that is the lower chakra elements. When we were in Kemet and these other astro civilizations, which were both physical and spiritual, operating with highest forms of technology than you ever seen, we operated at a higher rate of intellect. Your intellect is supposed to govern what your physical body does, but the flip-flop of this modified simulation that you are in, that you call Earth in the third dimension, has you believing that everything is the same. You using your chakra work backwards. Your senses is to teach you where to go. They're not supposed to bound you or bind you. So your intellect is supposed to tell you this is a woman of honor. She is glorified. We don't have a thought to think to touch them. Remember, the invasion was a conjure war. How could Ezeli be the leader of a revolution if she wasn't connected celestial wise? I just told y'all Levi is of the celestial portion. Levi is the land over there in IAT. So the high priestess, land, her waters, the sweet waters. So you're talking about people who operated with enough intelligence to never even have to deal with being tempted. Why the fuck you think it was called an evasion? It was an invasion. Deuteronomy said you will become a stranger in your own land. So you inside of the multiverse and you a stranger to it because you have no intellect. You are bound by your lower nature. This is why you're calling me names. Ain't said nothing about the work that I'm producing or none of that shit. What's coming out of my mouth, but simply try to annihilate me from my physical appearance because you are the ones who don't have enough intellect to know how to honor what is pure. Breastfeeding a fucking child. The twirling motions of the hips. You really thought that the mother was going to be by, yes, she has multi vessels, so don't get it twisted. But the one who was coming to render judgment, the Dinah, the Sekhmat, you thought she was finna be some old, washed up, dried up bitch with her legs crossed? Remember, bitch means female dog, serious. So understand that it is not the word, but the power behind it when I speak. Because I know you're going to have something to say about the fact that I'm sitting here with my child speaking like this. But intellect, the force behind your frequency. Did you do it in righteousness? Was you right about it? Now, I'm just showing y'all that because she said something about both of my pictures, and I need y'all to understand that truth is true. Let's go back real quick because this is somebody who is doing twerking. Now, let's be clear. If she knew how to properly manipulate the frequency, she would be doing that correct. And to y'all, well, I'm not gonna say to y'all, but to a lot of people, it would seem as if she was doing something derogatory. But remember, these were the sacred dances that women did amongst the tribes to raise the frequency of the earth's grid. The video you talking about, you seen, right at that moment when that video dropped, it was an 8.8 earthquake took place on the tectonic plates because the hip motion operates the kidneys. Your grid, as the earth is represented as a grid, it is not just you here. The earth has a heart. The earth has a pulse. The earth has its own frequency. It is a live being. So when you see her physical vessel out of the hologram, which would be me, doing that motion, and her higher vessel, the source, responds, it is telling you something. This is what those women were doing in ancient times. Go read about it since you like to go Google quotes. Now let's go back to this here because I'm not through. So it says here, let me see. Okay, so she said that's the other side of the Holy Spirit. I dealt with her in that box on a deer-based comment. One of his videos, she had her comments dismembered, so no one can confront her, which in fact is not even a thing you can do on YouTube, by the way. But goes to show you, you don't have to, just because you age in the physical body, you do not have to age in spirit. You don't have to stay dumb. I'm just going to be clear when I say that. You don't have to. It's a choice. But if you have if you actually uttered up the ability to speak on the matters of intelligence, like the mother or the father or Israel or any of these intelligent things, then you need to dig deeper because you actually are putting yourself in the vicinity of what is being exposed from this planet right now as we speak. Now, it says Okay, she said I had the comments dismembered. She switched the video with her breast and put another picture, the same thing, except she had her breast in. She had only Adir Bay and Abdullah Sears video on mostly Adir Bay videos. When I confronted him, mind you, he doesn't allow you to connect by email, but constantly announces it. Now, okay. I'm not gonna go through all of that. Then I'm jump down back to where my name was mentioned. Now look here, y'all. Look at this. She puts a heart and then she says my name again. What have I been telling y'all about from TikTok to YouTube to any works that I've put out? Matter of fact, one of my very first works on YouTube was the heart space and the element of air, letting you know that I came here as the representation of this. Love is not an emotion, it is intelligence. And even if you did feel like I had something going on that you did not agree with, your intelligence is going to tell you, oh, it's not for me. I'm going to keep on moving. But you went and you tried to make idolatry out of the patriarchy because whether you like it or not, this is men that she is going into these comments and doing all this shit for. She's in women's comments, but she don't drop nearly half the shit she say to these women, to these men. This is how it be though, but this is how you read between the veil. So then she says, a heart, my name again. Now Ramona Ray added another Gentile videos like that before I rebuked her. She has caused many of our men to fall. First of all, who the fuck did you think Sekhmet was? This is a free will universe. The law of truth is running the fucking show right now. So if I was the cause of a fall, that would mean I am very fucking powerful. Because you have your own free will. Who did you think Sekhmet was? Now you finally talking some true shit. And then you talking about cause many men to fall. Baby girl, everybody that I've ever named on my platform, I have addressed personally. And when I did that first before I came on here and rendered judgment. So these were time periods. Did you not read the Bible when it tells you that God will allow you a time frame to rectify whatever you are being called out to do? That's what it was. Now, Adir Bey, when I spoke to him, he posts videos now strictly about the mother. Now, Big Levi, let's get to Big Levi. We're going to go to him. I'm going to go to his page real quick. No. Okay. I'm going to show y'all something here. I've spoken to Big Levi more than a lot of brothers on here. Now, he was somebody who I spoke directly to, and I also spoke about. But hold on, I'm trying to find his newest. Okay. This is what happened as a result of me speaking to Big Levi. Okay. This album he dropped, it is called The Sacrament. It is a female wearing a blue wrap. Easily Done Thor, the Black Madonna, Isis, Sekhmet. And the album is called The Sacrament. Well, if you don't know, Sacramento is where I am located. Sacramento, California, Queen Khalifa roots. Okay, same Amazonian warrior goddess. The trail is right where you need to be. If y'all really want to get down and dirty, you should be Googling some of these people's names that you follow online because a lot of y'all don't know their real names and shit. Google them and find out and dig into their bloodlines and find out who they are. And you'll know who's who. But me personally, I knew by spiritual discernment. But this is called the sacrament. Sekmat. Saknet. Don't it sound very similar to her webs? The net, web, same thing. Sac is the location. The net is where she's at. The area codes, if you don't know, are used to determine who and what is supposed to take place out of that zone. This is the matrix. We are here to learn how to decode the grid so we will know what frequencies is what and who is who. That's what I teach y'all to do. I teach you to learn from space weather, from stories that you read, and all these different aspects, how to recognize her. That's what she said she was coming back to do. Now, Saknet, Sakmat, Sacramento. Only thing missing at the end of this cover is an O, and it will say the Sacramento Mother. Y'all need to know how to read between the lines, because I done showed you that you talking about I done caused many men to fall at the sword. You don't know judgment, do you? Because Sekhmet wasn't coming to play with no motherfucking body. And let me tell you, my dear, it is the flame, it is the radiation that brought you the world you get to interact with today. And it's the same flame that is going to extinguish what is not aligned with that radiation. Hence, the reason the mothership is a floating mechanism of radiation or plasma. So you don't get to survive it to evolve if you don't have it on your side. Now, I just told you about him. I told you about that. It's so much more that I can say, but she pinpointed who I am, and you should know that yes, she has some truth in what she was saying, but a lot of it was very spiritual plagiarism because evidently there has been a spirit working with her to bring her forth to where she's at now. I'm going to go. Okay, so let me see what else did she say here. She said that they both think they can play Cosmic Mother in the flesh. She got something for both of them. Judgment starts at the divine house, blase, blase. Now, I want to tell y'all something else, baby, because I came through this YouTube community and I had a lot of close connections with the men that you guys call brothers and are waiting at their footsteps. Let me tell y'all something. The fight between Cain and Abel, the fight between the brothers, everything is about rulership, okay? If you know that this physical planet is a female, the galaxy is the Milky Way or the nurturer to that planet, and then the universe is the outside space and time womb, and then it even goes further than that. But you know, it's all about, let's be clear, pussy. So why you think you talking about somebody falling behind a sword? This was what the war was always about. The rulership of the pussy, aka the planet, the earth. It's a female, it's a pussy. Yes, it has masculine elements created out of the source, but it's always been about her. And so you out here asking to be fought over or to be recognized, and yet and still, once again, like I told you in the video, say her name, they still gonna call Eve the true mother, because every one of these brothers that I've ever spoken about has responded. Did you not understand that Yaldabaoth was her son? I think your boxed in thought process forgot that she is the source of all. So when you up here feeling sympathy and empathy for what was divine correction, you don't even know who the fuck you talking about. Why you talking? You or this lady, Israelite Queen Judah. You ain't got nothing to offer that's gonna fortify the situation of the true manner, which is the mother being acknowledged again. You know why that is important? Not because of her ego, because she don't need to validate what she has created. She is more powerful than your sun system. You are locked into a solar system. I am outside of that system, and I tell the sons, plural, of that system when the fuck to go. Now, if you are sitting in the essence of the Divine Mother right now, and you are watching, you have been watching from the beginning, there are many things that I've said that are now being put in the spotlight. Guess where this lady was at next after she decided to cut ties with a deer bay? Guess who comment section she went to next? Y'all go do your research and figure that part out. Yeah, daughter. Are you not reading between the lines? See, the power stretch is the inevitable. So to fight against what you cannot fight against makes no sense. What you got to understand is you are food for the prey if you don't choose her. A lot of these masculine men that work for the mother have been screaming that to you. Matter of fact, some of them, like Abdul Asir, shed tears on live for you to get back to her. And yet and still, you're listening to ones that come on here with no real substance. They're just reading out of a fucking book, which you could read to yourself. But the real substance is something that is being fought for. Do you hear me? If it wasn't being fought for, it wouldn't even be no conversation about this same female, me, once again, amongst this fucking community. I'm not offended by no means because, baby, man, listen. Now, let's talk about segment. Daughter, why you turn my light off? Can you turn that back on for me? Let's talk about segment. Segment. The goddess Sekhmet, the divine goddess of vengeance, okay? Sekhmet was known as the eye of her father, Ra, the sun god. So this is telling you the eye of Ra. Who made that video? I'll wait. What female you see on this internet going against very powerful men? I'll wait. Anywho, so Sekhmet was known as the eye of the father, Ra, the sun god, the goddess of divine vengeance, conquest, and war. So she came to do what? Avenge it. Oh, okay. Her name is adopted into her function and means the one who is powerful. She was also given titles like the one before whom the evil trembles, the lover of fear, and the lady of slaughter. And this is frequency based, baby, because this planet should once again be a place of true free will. And because of the flip, you are no longer operating from the crown. You are operating from on down. So therefore, no, you want to watch something, you gotta sit down. Okay. Come on. So you are no longer operating from your direct intelligence. So you're going to have to utilize the mother as light. But this is where she's doing the cutoff. Now it says her name is known for power. She's known to be fierce and bloodthirsty. Sekhmet is the goddess of sun or war or destruction. So she wears the sun disk on her head too. She is the one who causes plagues and healing. She is one of the oldest deities, the most powerful of the triad, worshipped along with her husband, Ptah, the god of creation and wisdom, her son, Nefertum. I'm going to just tell y'all this about this story. Amhotep is the son's name. Now, Nefertum, I don't know much about that, but I'm going to tell you that the mother gave me Amhotep. She is the daughter of the sun god Ra, created when his eye looked to earth. She is sometimes known as the daughter of Nut. Okay. Who else also made a video saying this? Okay. The sky and Gebus earth. Understand that the reason she wears the solar disk on her head is because that is her mitochondria. When you look in the cell of mitochondria, there's actually a place in that cell called matrix. Her web, her tricks. Can you escape? And the reality is this, let me let you in on a little cosmic secret. The same man you asking, begging for attention is the same man looking for the mother too. Whether it be it to invade or whether it be it to cleanse and become one with her. They not looking for you though. As the sun goddess, she's connected with burning, scorching. So she is known by flame. Do you really think flame is modesty? You're not, this is not to say that you can't be modest because granted, but when you operate on a certain frequency, your right is freedom. So you should be free to do things intelligently. I don't do nothing sloppy. I don't do nothing trashy. Even when I was in work of the darkness, for as far as female work and sex work. Even when I was in that life, I handle myself on a whole nother level, in a whole nother way. Please. She carries the solar disk and the Uranus that associates with royalty. With these, remember I told you about the Uranus and the video I made about the IRA. And then it says she can be interpreted as the divine arbiter of Mayat, justice and order. She is the one who balances the scales. So at the end of the day, you have the source, you have her creation, and out of her creation, meaning her child or her son, was to create a different family. Okay, this is how you have the solar system, which has different planets. So we could say that that's the sun and its creation. The planets orbit that, or the sun orbits the planets, or the planets orbit that, depending on what you're talking about and what existence. So she was where this is who she was. Her seats, let me see, this is what I want to do. I want to read this. Oh, but anyways, she's the median, an arbiter. Another way to say that is to call someone a mediator, right? Um, and the reality is if we talking about, hold on a second, y'all. Um, I was gonna pull up the comment where, fuck it, might as well. Let's go to it. Where she spoke to me and directly put she put a paragraph there, and I don't want to butcher it, so I'm gonna just go ahead and I'm finna try to see if I can. So here's a little hack. I don't know who deleted my comment on here, but if you ever want to see a deleted comment, YouTube. YouTube be having it to where you're not able to see the deleted comments. But what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go to the new tab. And when you go in the new tab, it'll show you the comments that have been deleted. Now, I was trying to pull up what she said to me because I need y'all to understand the fruit of the spirit. Like any picture that I show you, here she go right here. It says, hey, whore, one more thing. Even I have duality. I am divine woman all day, and I can play the divine whore by night, but with only the man that truly values me and treasure me and learn as well as I value him and earn. And it starts with learning how to love yourself and respect yourself here. You cannot give what you do not possess. Since you need a role model, keep your eyes on me because you are truly broken. I can help fix you. What kind of message are you sending to your children? Blah, blah, blah. Now, listen, let me tell you something, y'all. They said that, let me see if it's in here. I think it was. Let me go. Let me just go Google it real quick. Segma Segment was it was said, let's see here. Hold on, I'm gonna see if this little AI thing will tell us what it was. It said in Egyptian mythology, Segment is a fear goddess of war and destruction sent by her father Ra. to punish humanity for their disobedience. However, her bloodlust became uncontrollable, and even Ra could not stop her until he devised a plan to intoxicate her. So we know there's a little truth mixed with a little bit of lie. But it's telling you that not even the father could stop the mother. And we know that the father is the son because Jesus was the missing piece to the puzzle to identify that to you. When it's the mother, it is her, and her, she's the source. But when it's the father, that's when it becomes dual. Now, so not even her father could stop her, and he the one who sent her down there to do the hit. Okay. In other words, she was supposed to be cleaning up humanity because she was the law who had been forgotten. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you something, y'all. The mother got right on here on this YouTube platform and told her sons, kill all the noise, come back home. It's time now. Y'all done had y'all fun. Y'all done did whatever in my house while I was gone. All the partying y'all done did and all that shit. But now it's time to come back home to the source. And if you choose not to, that's cool. But the mother has places for you that don't exist on a higher plane because you don't want to ascend. You don't want to evolve. And the truth is at the end of the day, you couldn't possibly believe that Seknet, not being able to be stopped by her father was some elder woman. I think a lot of us hear that term mother and we automatically think of a deity who is elder, right? Because that's the third dimension telling you box in. But when you think about her being represented as the element of the heart or the breath, because we know the heart and the lungs are connected, right? So without her, you have no breath, you have no element. She's the beginning stage of all things. You were thinking that it would be some older woman with wisdom sitting back on the throne doing her thing. But if that was the case, would Ra even be interested in stopping her? Think about that, because we're talking about a story that actually physically happened. You know, it's happening now, but according to your ability to understand it, we're talking about something that happened. So you think this was a 40-year-old, 50-year-old woman running around here trying to avenge a lineage, and her fire was supposed to be sitting? Not saying when older women don't have a place, they do, but your fire is not as prime as the young one. Why? Because she got the endurance that you didn't have. She got the freedom to do what you can't do anymore. If I show y'all a picture of my mother's oldest sister who is 60 next year, she looked just like she's in her 20s. That's how my grandmother looked. That's how her mother looked. Very nice Coke bottle shapes. Now we're not talking about no misproportion, no big bellies. They didn't even lay in their coffins like that. This is very significant for you to understand. Cause I come from some bad bitches. Or should I say high priestess dog star women. So that you don't get confused thinking she's cussing when they the ones who gave you your language backwards. But I come from some real fine women. My mama is man, my mama is a bad one. Her mama was a bad one. All of the daughters that my grandmother had, baddies. There's not no mishap, no slip ups, no oopsie maybes. Oh, she kind of cute. No, I'm talking about full flame. Body, energy, everything. Yeah, it's just what it is. So when you think about her being the heart space, she is represented as youthful because the youth is the one who has no fear. How you gonna send a hitman to do a job of cleansing or evolving a civilization, and she got to rest and be tired? No, the story of Ra and Sigmat is obviously a young tender, flame, hothead, ready to go. Who's next, Dad? You know, if we going based off the story, because we know it was the source who sent her down here. But at the same time, her father's lineage, which was of the divine, is still the same as her consort. Okay? So whether she came as a daughter or a consort, he still couldn't stop her. So the storyline, yeah, baby, what you want right here? This one? The storyline that you're hearing is very clear that we're not talking about nobody who's in their 50s or 60s, because the likelihood of a parent actually even being alive to aid in you doing something this revolutionary would mean that it would be only words exchanged. It wouldn't be no real actions. You got to understand, this is a simulation. This is a hologram. Hologram uses light or plasma to reflect its source. So somebody got to play out all of these titles of which these stories unfold. And it just so happens that I'm going to send me a Judith in that motherfucker. Here you go, baby. I'm going to send me a Judith. I'm going to send me a Sheba. I'm going to send me a Azalee, because she got time. I'm going to send me an Azalee with multiple children to raise so she can take it personal what is going on in these realms. So she can remember how the division between her and her seeds was placed. So that she can remember that her son Yaldabaoth is responsible for these creations. And what you don't know is Yaldabaoth know he is going to participate in the very destruction of the shit that he created. That's why you heard us talking about this in my previous videos, like the Shekinah, the Return to Mu, saying you can't stop it because it's about evolution. If you don't match, Michael gonna snatch. I said it already. So you think that Michael and Lucifer are two different beings? No. So even your source that led you down the path of programming is coming to annihilate your frequency, the very one that's created out of what he did, his substance. Would you think about that? Now, so yeah, they weren't sending nobody elderly or that would bend to society. Who the hell you think taught Yahushua to become a rebel? It was his mama that taught him how to be of the source. You can't teach as a masculine energy. You can't teach the divine mother how to be a source unless she's disconnected and y'all working together to remind each other. But as far as power goes, she is that. So whether she's represented in a feminine or a masculine body, it is what it is. And because of that, you are in trouble because she is the one who knew that the violations that would take place within this generation. Hence, my YouTube channel is called Talking to My Generation. Pay attention to what is going on in front of you because everything is right in your face. Literally, this is some powerful shit that you are witnessing. Pay attention to how my channel went from thousands of views and then none, hardly, once I start name dropping who these very frequencies track back home to. Pay attention to how some of the brothers said, oh, hold on. We know now that what we was doing is not correct. Let's go back and let's put mama back where she needs to be, or let's go back and let's contribute an offering to our divine mother, since we know she is in the book of Jeremiah 33 being talked about. Yeah, once y'all stop giving offerings to her, you lost access to her divineness. So you are left with a polluted version of her higher authority. And this is why a lot of y'all can't wrap your fucking minds around what the hell I be saying and what I'm doing. But just understand that the empire must rise yet again. I came in and I told y'all about a lot of different things. And I want you to pay attention to the brothers that come out here and use their passion to speak for her. Because you can feel it in the frequency of the words. It's a different thing to share a scripture out of a book. That's what pastors do. Okay? Scream and shout and do a bunch of antics to make you believe that they are engaged in this. But where are you seeing these brothers, because they out here, who are showing you that they ready to ride for the same cause that you hear being spoken about? The divine feminine. I'm not talking about inserting themselves, stealing people's timelines, interjecting. I'm not talking about the ones perpetrating that they doing something, but behind the scenes, you talking reckless, you doing reckless stuff, and you think the actions ain't being recorded. Pay attention. Because every time I talk, from Rod Hayes to YouTube, to TikTok, what's that brother's name? What's his name? Voodoo Chief. Shout out to him because he's on time with talking about how Haiti was the original empire of the entire planet. And you could go anywhere and find Haiti and its symbols. I was gonna come on here and show you my grandmother's house, which was so compact with those Haitian symbols and all of that, that you would have, your mind, your head would have spun. But I didn't do it this time because I just wanted to ride the wave of where the mother was taking me. But the Hebrews are her webs. You are a monster, a mom's star. You are a part of Seknet. I don't really I don't really care how you feel about me because it's a part of your job that you came here to do. Everybody got a job to do, and every man to his order. And the cold part is y'all sitting here hearing about Three Eye Atlas, y'all hearing about this gamma radiation, that solar flare, this, but you have no idea what has been taking place within this realm between the Israelites or the spiritual children that you watch and subscribe to. You have no fucking idea. So watch your goddamn mouth. Because I spoke about justice and I spoke about opening the scrolls of the Haitian waters and bringing back the ancestral memory of the sweet waters. And right after I spoke that, it's another worker of the divine mothers got on here and declared their decree too. So in honor of that, before I go, I'm going to read that decree. Because we talked about Esley being reverenced as the spiritual Loa, right? She's known as the spirit. She's a spirit, but she possesses one who can actually handle her might. And if you don't know, Esley Dunthor is known for making what we call offenders, I'm going to say ex-offenders, hang themselves on trees and different things of that nature. She's known for avenging women and children, okay? In other words, she's the one who came as the lioness of Judith to raise back up her children again. Now, for the cosmic empire, this is the 7th karmic decrees. So, number 1, what was taken by force will be returned by fire. Number 2, silence in the face of evil is signed in blood. Number 3, so if you seen what was going on and what's been going on, and you turned your head and you seen a daughter of Zion or a child of Zion, that's you're going to be judged. You can't stay neutral. It's not good to be lukewarm. Number 3, a crown stolen cannot rest on any head for long, because eventually that Dinah or the Sekmat and Amhotep or Ezeli and Ogun will arrive. Okay. The spirits of the Maroons cannot be brought or erased or bound. It's nothing you can do about this because these spirits are primal. They were here far long beyond this physical presence. So you cannot erase them. I said it in my video when I talked about my mother, my grandmother, you can't erase her. All right, and it says number 5, he who denies the Loa will answer to them in dreams. We talked about the Loas in the beginning of my video. And then 6, she who betrays her people only birth ghosts. So if you got a mimic womb that is not evolved, you will not birth evolution, period. You will show, your seeds will show your deeds. The seventh one is the empire may sleep, which it is no longer sleep anymore, it is awakened. But when it awakes, it judges without mercy. And so you finna find out who the real Puff Daddy is. No, but honestly, listen, these frequencies are here to align you with something. And that alignment has to do with evolution. And the only way you can evolve, you cannot head up the Jacob's ladder and bypass your heart space. The way that these women talk and how they carry themselves, it tells you they are not a part of the intelligent program. They are locked in the program. And for that, I don't really even need no verification or proof. I don't need to argue or none of that shit. All I needed to do was declare it in the public domain, and so the results shall manifest. And for those of y'all who have genuine hearts and speak and come in this room and my space, listen, get listen, get you a cup, get you some holy water, get you some wine, some nice, get dressed, pop you some popcorn, whatever makes you feel elevated or reminds you of being happy in your pure innocent state, because you have a right to be free. And because of the low frequencies that have permeated your planet, you have not been acting in that right. And so we are now about to walk into evolution as it manifests on the physical plane. And I love y'all with all of me. Okay. And have a good one.